Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be the general daily collective message for Tuesday, July the 19th. Keep in mind, timing and energy is still fluid. This reading could play out today, over the next several days. This message may or may not be for you, so I do ask that you only take with you the messages that resonate and leave behind the rest. We are going to talk about some of these astrology aspects, and then we'll jump into the cards, guys. So we have some very potent energies today. Chiron is stationing retrograde at 16 degrees 26. Mercury is also entering into Leo, and the sun in Cancer is opposing Pluto in Capricorn. So the energy is intense. We have the sun illuminating the 6th house, also in Cancer. The 6th house is all about career. And we have Pluto in the 12th house, also in Capricorn at 13 degrees. And so this is where we bury the past. This is where we put the past to bed. And with Chiron going retrograde, we're kind of being forced to look at that inner wound once and for all and to do something about it. And so Mercury is going to be in Leo from today until August 4th. And when Mercury is in Leo, our thinking is going to become more confident, and it can be very grand. And what I heard is grandiose. And so I think the focus right now is on our goals and the bigger goal for the betterment for humanity. And so I don't think details are going to be quite as important with Mercury and Leo. I think many of us are going to find ourselves being a little bit more expressive, maybe even aggressive, theatrical, perhaps. It is like this speech-giving energy, storytelling energy under this influence. And so this can also bring forward very persuasive styles of communication because many of us are going to be exuding that confidence. And so whether you're Leo, whether your Mercury is in Leo or not. And so I think fire signs are going to fare well with Mercury and Leo. My Mercury is in Aquarius. And so this is about exuding our confidence and bringing forward our speech or our writing skills that will be beneficial for these new earth energies. And so with this transit, maybe we're not going to want to listen so well. I think we're just going to be focused on our own ideals at this time. And so we're also going to be very strong in our convictions when it comes to making decisions about ourselves and letting our voices and our input be heard once and for all. And so this is not a time where we're content with others letting us feel small or making decisions for us. This is where we learn to take the lead of our life, where we learn to be the director of our destiny and to embrace this co-creative process while Mercury is in Leo. Leo is all about spotlight energy, being in the spotlight. And so I think many of us can relate to sharing our life stories with others and absorbing the lessons. And so during this Mercury cycle, I think we are going to have to be aware of where we have been very inflexible, too proudful, too much in our ego, and too haughty when it comes to embracing a change of course. And with Chiron entering into retrograde today, and it will be in retrograde until December 23rd when it turns direct. And so Chiron is going to reveal where we have suffered the most in our life when it comes to a core wound that we were born with. And so this is where we can embrace this energy and have a chance to become our own healer and then become a spiritual mentor or healer for others. When we understand how to heal our own shortcomings, our own wounds, that is when we can embrace the entire sphere of our life, and we can go into this hurt and heal it. And so I think this is where the collective as a whole goes into this deep healing state over the next several months. And when we can bring our awareness of our woundedness to the surface in order to identify the root cause. So many people trigger us, and the person pulling the trigger definitely is not the root cause of our wounding. And so when we become this healing force in our own life, then we can become this healing force for others in that area. So right now, Chiron is in Aries. And so those with their Chiron in Aries are likely going through some form of self-identity crisis. Aries is all about the self. My personal Chiron wound is in Taurus, and Taurus is all about commitments, partnerships, relationships, and not feeling worthy of a lifetime committed partnership. I myself have never ever been married. And so in essence, I felt like I was never worthy of that committed partnership. And so I did a video a while back, I believe in Aries season, and I broke down very quickly all of the Chiron aspects. If I can find the video, I will tag it to the end. If you didn't catch it, I suggest giving it a watch. I know my guides are pushing me to start doing individual Chiron videos, because over the next 5 months, we're all being asked to heal this very painful wound, because we can never fully heal it. But when we can embrace it, understand it, and then we can bring this information forward, that is kind of how we heal, by sharing our story with others. And so it's all going to depend too on the house position where Chiron falls in your birth chart, what areas of your life this wounding is going to be pointing to. And so and you might want to check out where Saturn falls, because that's going to really highlight where you've dealt with karmic relationships your entire life as well. And so generally over the coming months, many are going to be more emotionally vulnerable. And this is where deep-seated healing can occur. But when we fail to accept our own emotional vulnerability, then we're unable to obtain the meaning and the lesson from the hurt. And so as a result of that, we unconsciously hurt others unintentionally around this same issue that's been repeating throughout relationship cycles. And so I think this is where we're being asked to bring our emotional vulnerability into the light, and to move from this incurable wound in whatever area of your life Chiron falls in, to become these masters and to become these spiritual teachers. And so Chiron is not only healing of self, it is healing of the collective. And so Chiron's position by your sign is going to symbolize the valuable lessons that we're here to learn. And so for me, it is relationship patterns. And so this is why a lot of that focus is in relationships in my readings, because bottom line is we learn through relationships, and there's no other way around it. And so I think get ready for a lot of healing to occur over the coming months as Chiron retrograde passes through the sign of Aries, no matter what your Chiron wound is. And so we're all kind of being urged to confront these deep-seated feelings that we've been pushing down instead of processing. We can't keep pushing down, repressing, and masking these pains if we want to reach the next step of our human evolution. And so during this time, I think get ready for these wounds to be triggered, whether it's caused by other people or a dramatic event in your life, in order for us to take action to begin to heal so we can create that brighter future that we all so deeply desire. And with the sun opposing Pluto, this definitely is indicating some sort of crisis, whether it's a crisis stemming around your self-esteem or a relationship or just an upheaving event. Or maybe this is going to be due to some self-destructive character traits, whether that's addictions, spying, stubbornness, especially in relationships. Maybe you've been the perpetrator of manipulation, or you've been perpetrated, but it's really going to bring forward a lot of jealousy, domination, and spying. And so it is the Cancer energy opposition the Capricorn energy. And so there's likely going to be some sort of event over the coming days, if it hasn't already taken place, when it comes to the breakdown of something. The breakdown of a false foundation. It could be the breakdown of a car. Maybe somebody is going to be exposed for stealing from you, theft, violence. Violence is likely, or maybe destruction of possessions. This could even mean a natural disaster of some sort. And so these are only examples that are possibilities to kind of take place in the energies, because the sun opposite Pluto, we're going to feel that all week. So But in conjunction with all of these other energies, I feel there's likely going to be some type of drastic crisis in the energies today. And so it's really important that we don't play into being overly assertive or egotistical. And I'm going to talk about that in a minute. We can't keep resisting this change. And so if we have been stubbornly resisting change or have been engaging in destructive habits, not only with yourself or with another person, there's going to be an event that is likely going to happen that will absolutely be out of your control, because we are never ever in control. And so in a way, whatever event or shakeup is taking place, it's to help you realize that you never have total control, not over another for sure, or your environment. And so get ready to experience a deeply sense of a bruised or wounded ego during the energies over the coming days. But this is serving as a gateway opportunity for potential for positive change if you are open to the change. And so if you're not open to change, like a very fixed sign like Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, or Scorpio, this change is likely going to be forced upon you. But if you choose to instigate the change, then this energy will for sure be very, very much less destructive. So it's always a good idea to aim to transform for the better without being forced with that tower to embrace these changes. And so in order to evolve at the soul level, we do have to experience some very painful life lessons so we understand what we do and we do not want. And so I think get ready for a lot of disruption when it comes to close relationships or family members or friends or partnerships. And so I do want to talk about the number 19. So today is the 19th. 19 is a karmic debt number, and when I add up all of the numbers of today's date, we do get 21, which is the World card, linked to the Mary Magdalene code, the Sisterhood of the Rose, further breaking down to a 3, the Empress energy, birthing that new life. And we don't get to that new cycle without going into the depths of the pain and the uncomfortable labor pains and the transformation. And so and the Empress gives birth to this new life in divine time, right? You think of a baby, it comes when it's ready, or maybe when it's not ready. So I want to talk about karmic debt 19 a little bit, because this is where I feel many of us are shedding egotism out of our lives and learning a level of independence and proper use of power. And so many in the energies are going to be forced to stand up for themselves and might often find themselves be left standing alone. And it is when we are completely alone that we can face these difficulties and overcome these personal struggles and know that we've always had the power to take control of our destiny. And so I think one of the central lessons coming up over the coming months with Chiron in retrograde is where you have stubbornly resisted accepting help from others. And that is a trauma response when you're unable to receive help from others. And so I think many have experienced this self-imposed restrictive energy when it comes to independence. Maybe because simply you just don't want to listen to others, or you don't want to accept help or advice, or you've accepted poor advice and you don't want to admit that you were wrong. And so many people can create this self-imposed prison of their life because they're not willing to open up to the reality of interdependence and the need for mutual love and respect. And so I think an important lesson to maybe try and sit with is to understand where you need to seek to stand on your own 2 feet. We are still a human being, and so we do still need that deep connection with others, and we do need support from others and assistance from others. But we also need to stand on our own 2 feet, but we also need to be willing to reach out and ask for that help when we need it. And so the vibration and the energies are carrying with it a lot of leadership qualities. And so service-based energies. And I do feel this reorganization when it comes to expressing our truth and, maybe stepping into arts and science and esoteric study and enjoying the simple pleasures in life. And so I feel, get ready to find your tremendous vitality to create a new mindset, all while overcoming some very painful obstacles and challenges in the energies. And so it is this regenerative energy, this correction of past errors, of attitudes, if you want to assure that future success. And so I feel, you know, on the negative side, so many people live this double life. You know, behind closed doors, nobody really knows what goes on in a foundation. And so many people fluff up their life on social media and make everybody think they're living their best life, when behind closed doors, they're absolutely miserable living this double life. And so many people create this positive image of themselves as one type of person socially, while living a secret life of falsity and deceit behind the curtain, behind the mask. And so I feel we're all being called to embrace the spiritual fall while Chiron transitions through retrograde. And I think our courage is going to be tested. We're all going to have to learn interdependence, and we're going to have to reframe ourselves from playing into the martyr energy, self-pity, you know. And so I feel it is this karmic equalizing energy and karmic collecting energy. And so get ready to pay back some karmic debt for some past abuses, especially in a past life where you had abused sacred knowledge, or where you have lacked compassion for people, maybe where you have hurt somebody and you've not wanted to take accountability, and you've lacked compassion for the damage that you have left in your wake of your narcissistic ways. And so I feel spiritual misalignment is coming up to be addressed when it comes to negative behaviors, and paying back this hefty abuse of power where somebody's actions were extremely self-centered and borderline abusive. And so I think challenges that we're all grappling with over the coming months are narcissism, narcissistic empath relationships, egotism, selfishness, being intimidating because you lack that self-confidence, or where you've been lazy, just flat out lazy, where you've lacked a spine to not be able to stand on your own 2 feet, and where you've lacked the inability to move forward, to live that very productive life of healthy independence and achievement within relationships and social status. And so get ready to be shown where you've lacked initiative and leadership and follow-through skills, and where you have been extremely codependent in relationships. And when Chiron closes out in December, the date actually breaks down to karmic debt 14. So if you're ready to go into this deep shadow work, you're going to come out the other side with a lot of karmic freedom, and you're going to be able to embrace this change to live a better life. And so get ready to face where you have abused your freedom in a previous lifetime as well. When it comes to karmic debt 14, so many of us will be forced to adapt to ever-changing circumstances time and time again, and unexpected occurrences and upheaval. And so there's going to be some challenges that we're going to need to face as well when it comes to drug and alcohol abuses, and overindulgence when it comes to food and sex. And so it's going to be this constant battle for many when it comes to staying in balance and not falling victim to addictions and codependencies. And so we're paying back karmic debt over the coming months when it comes to past abuses where you acted upon personal and selfish gains for yourself at the expense of others, which has now repeated in this incarnation. And so, man, I think, you know, it's a pretty hefty abuse when you're irresponsible and you shun any sense of responsibility and accountability. And so it's important for us to maintain order in our life and to establish our own sense of emotional security. Otherwise we go into excessive codependent relationships, excessive sexual encounters, and I think this is where we have all of these unexpected twists and turns, because we're not focused on self and our own emotional well-being. We're seeking all of this outside validation. And so get ready to begin to really focus on your dreams. What happened, monkey? You hurt your foot. She hurt her foot. She's okay. And so I think we're going to need to be flexible and adaptable over the coming months, because at the very core, all of our struggles are self-inflicted. And so it's crucial to be clear with our focus and to maintain integrity in all of our dealings. Are you okay, my little love? She's okay. So I think, where have you not been able to commit to yourself? Because if you can't commit to yourself, then you really can't commit to another in a relationship. And so get ready to really look at where your life has resembled a roller coaster ride, where you need to go to travel in the right directions when it comes to your dreams and your goals. And so if you want to experience life to the fullest, we do have to understand where we have misused our freedom in a previous life manifestation. And so we're here to have stability, security, and to achieve our goals. But it does take a lot of hard work and a lot of accountability and responsibility. So I think some challenges that many will be facing over the coming months is having to look at your inability to have and to hold on to a healthy relationship. Have you jumped from job to job throughout your life? Have you struggled with addictions such as food, drugs, alcohol, sex, materialism, instant gratification, basically anything that deters you from taking full responsibility of your actions? Where have you lacked the ability to focus and follow through with goals? Or where have you lacked the ability to commit? Where do you have a severe, unhealthy sense of codependency? Why are you so dependent on another to give you that sense of self-worth, self-value? Because nothing outside of you will ever, ever, ever complete you. And so we got to look at these severe, unhealthy codependencies within relationships so we can release all of these over-emotional responses when it comes to embracing change. You're not getting your way. So many adults have these temper tantrums when they don't get their way. And that's all due to unresolved childhood wounding. So it's like acting like a hurt little child, and it's time for us to kind of grow up and to mature. And so where have you not been able to practice self-discipline? Get ready to look at that. You might want to jot some of this down and take some notes, guys. Or where have you had excessive sexual encounters, multiple parties, or been involved in third-party situations, or gotten another involved in third-party situations? Because none of this is going to be acceptable, and we're going to be forced to look at all of these energies. So let's jump in with the cards, guys. We're going to start with the Spiritual Journey Oracle deck today. What do we got? Wounding. You're ready. The student is ready. Wow. Wow. So get ready to face all of these challenging relationship dynamics. Boy, you're having a rough go, eh? She just had a big sneeze. We got to recognize these negative relationship dynamics, and we do have to go into the wounding. So there is a lot of wounding coming up. Self-worth issues, and all of these soul agreements that we enter into this life, we've agreed to in order to trigger all of these past life woundings. So we are ready. The student is ready. We are ready to learn these lessons once and for all. And it is going to hurt. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It does hurt to look at that wound, but there's no other way around it. You got to go into the wound. So when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So I feel get ready for a karmic catalyst to trigger this deep-seated wounding at the core in order for you to be open and willing to receive the lesson once and for all.
What's this?
It says VIP. What do you got in there?
It's glitter.
Oh, it's glitter. Glitter party, girls. All right, we got glitter on the desk now. All right.
I'm going to go get a bowl.
The student is ready, because if you want to come into alignment, we have to integrate all of these lessons of self when it comes to these past life timelines, all of these current lessons this life, in order to really understand your soul's purpose. So we're ready to come into alignment, guys. We are ready. And I think it's a celebration with all the glitter on the desk, okay? All right, let's see what else needs to come through for the collective when it comes to this message today. The student is ready, just flipped out in reverse. So somebody has been resisting this change. For sure. So if you're the one resisting the change, I think you're going to be grappling with some very intense energies over the coming months. And so Somebody, I think, is going to have to deal with a very intensifying situation when it comes to addressing these patterns. And it's time that we cut these energy cords once and for all. We have to cut and clear all of this unwanted energy, all of these karmic attachments. We have to go into the memories to clear the memories, okay? So get ready to go into the dark, into the pain for this release, this renewal. If we are to live in the present moment, we do have to go into this wound. So there's been resistance to this change. Somebody here has been resisting this change, and there's going to be a fallout, is what I heard. A fallout when it comes to a false social tribe. A false tribe, because yeah, there's been resistance to feeling this pain. And when we resist it, it just intensifies. And so there's something coming to the surface that needs to be addressed that somebody's really not wanted to look at. There is a transformation taking place. And we got the manifestation in reverse. And there's that teaching energy, okay? So we are always divinely protected as we go through this spiritual transformation of shedding all of these old aspects, all of these relationships. And so there's going to be a lot of external forces, external factors working with you to get you to release everything no longer serving you. And so there is a need for boundaries. Boundaries is a huge lesson as an empath. And so somebody's been resisting wanting to deepen their relationship to their self, clinging to all of this outside validation, connected to a social circle that's not their true tribe. And so there's this energy indicating this fear of going into these wounds. And so somebody without a doubt has been misguided, depleted, stagnant in an unhealthy romantic partnership, and nothing is working out for them. Nothing is coming into manifestation. And so we attract what we want into our life based on our vibration. So somebody here is at their lowest, is what I feel. And they've created all kinds of difficulties in their physical reality because they've been resisting learning this lesson and healing from this pain. And so somebody here really needs to get to know themselves. And somebody is involved in a karmic situation that is helping them evolve and maybe even helping somebody else evolve. And so always takes two to tango. And so there's going to be a lesson learned, a painful human experience in order to learn a lesson, because we are here to learn our soul's language. We are here to step into our greater purpose. And some of us have a greater purpose bigger than we could have ever realized. And so get ready to go into healing the soul's DNA. Healing this deeply embedded pain that we've brought over from past lives. So a soul DNA activation in order to redefine our future. But we can't do that until we face our deepest hurts and we embrace healing them. And so a lot of emotional symptoms, a lot of uncomfortable physical and mental stimulus when it comes to the negative impacts of holding on to this trauma. And so if we want to step into these new opportunities, these portals that are opening up, we have to be willing to learn the lesson being presented. And we do have to be willing to walk through that doorway of this new experience. So are you stuck in a false foundation? Are you stuck in a place of materialism and greed, of status, social status? Because somebody's going to get blasted out of a false foundation. Because you can't stay stuck in the matrix if you want to have that spiritual experience with other like-minded souls. If you want that rejuvenation, you're going to have to be willing to step into this new life. And you might have to seek out some knowledge. So get ready for an awakening around your soul's consciousness. And the further we get towards the end of the month and we have that North Node Uranus conjunction, it's wake up time. It's go time. It's really time to embrace self-development, self-nurturance, growth, knowing that we never stop evolving and working on ourselves. Every day is a new day to learn a new lesson. And so major, massive global awakenings are taking place over the coming months. And if you are already very awake and aware, I think the best thing you can do over the coming months is to maximize the energy flow by keeping your chakras tuned up, cleared, and in balance, because we are going into a new timeline where we are choosing to live consciously. We're no longer making choices unconsciously. We're learning, we're evolving, and we're consciously choosing how to live our life each and every day. And so get ready to make a choice for the betterment over the coming months. Let's dig into the past life lessons, because Chiron is all about past life wounding. Get ready to heal some family burdens. And get ready to face challenges of aloneness and unwantedness when it comes to abandonment wounds. Oh, a lot of abandonment wound challenges and a lot of family burdens. And so we are here to change the course of our ancestral family patterns. We are here to recognize these ancestral wounds, to heal and clear them for future generations. So family is in focus. So interesting. It's my stepfather's birthday today. And so we're going to be having a birthday dinner there. And so when we release those family burdens, then we can step into the royalty that we always were meant to live in. And so...
when are you going to be done your... And this is glitter. It's a lot of glitter.
So many of us come from royal bloodlines. And so we were born with a crown. Many of us were born with a crown, and we are stepping into becoming that heir to the throne when it comes to these new earth leadership energies. But we have to heal that family burden first. So let's see what needs to come through at the past life lessons. Adversity. Yeah, get ready to face some challenging circumstances. And get ready to shed some pride and some ego. Definitely going to be facing some roadblocks, some people trying to test us when it comes to some family burdens, some family patterns. And maybe children have been a factor. Maybe somebody is experiencing total financial ruin and poverty because they've been playing into pride and ego, narcissism. And so that's a big challenge this life, to shed that pride, to shed that ego, and to face all of these struggles in life. And so I feel somebody might be experiencing financial poverty because they were not grateful for what they had in the first place. And so that's going to be a struggle. But,
Mom, can I put on this blanket?
Yeah, it's always, always in the moments that we hit rock bottom that we can find our strength to become those trailblazers. I've rebuilt from ground zero many times over in my life. And so this is where we find our innovative creativeness when it comes to rebuilding, reforming, transitioning into a new way of being. Because when you hit that rock bottom, you're not the same person when you come out of the ashes and rise like the phoenix. And so a lot of starseed activations taking place when it comes to our family origins, our starseed origins, how many lifetimes we've had living in this human experience, and how it all connects to our higher purpose and what we are here to do to be that light for humanity. And so let's dull it down a little bit, and we are going to use the Illumination Oracle deck. Yeah. Emotional vulnerability. It's hard. I know how hard it is to be emotionally vulnerability. I've given my heart away many times, and I've had it stomped on and shattered many times over. And so get ready to face self-worth issues, inadequacy issues, and get ready to be emotionally vulnerable. Get ready to be emotionally vulnerable. It is truly a strength to share your weaknesses. So let's see what the Illumination Oracle deck has to say. Okay. That hiding the truth really wants to come out, but it kind of come out sideways. So the mask is going to fall, and somebody is finding their determination. So what do we got here? Children and missing you. So children come out twice. This is a family burden. We've got illumination, making plans, forgiveness. So somebody is making plans to come forward and ask for forgiveness. Maybe forgiveness from their children. Definitely somebody's maybe been missing their children, struggling with self-worth issues, getting ready to embrace change. But somebody's been stuck for a while. And the second you embrace this change, that's when these blessings come. So all I know is this throat chakra clearing is getting very irritated. But there's like this lump in my throat. And so somebody does need to speak up. And there's going to be like an awakening, an illumination of something. Somebody I feel has been thinking about coming forward, asking for forgiveness, maybe with some children that they've hurt that they deeply miss. Somebody's dealing with a lot of shame and guilt, I feel, with her head down. And they've been thinking about coming forward for forgiveness, but there's self-worth issues here. And somebody needs to crumple up this old version of who they are. But there's definitely this distorted views of the ego going through all of these deep shadow aspects. There is change on the horizon. And then we get this. Somebody's been very patiently waiting for somebody to get that clarity and to come out of confusion and to learn a karmic lesson. So get ready to learn some very painful karmic lessons because the time is now. And you're going to want to be careful and you're going to want to be patient with yourself as you come out of confusion. And in order to get that clarity, you do have to purge and you do got to cry it out and you got to release all of that pent up hurt on the heart in order to have that clarity. So I feel a huge emotional purge, emotional breakdown possibly, when it comes to these deep karmic roots within a family structure, within a family pattern. And somebody here has left quite an impression, and commitment is in focus. We are all worthy of a committed partnership. And there is going to be a fresh start. But we first have to heal from all of this past life regret, all of the current regrets this life. We can never, ever go back and erase the past. Who would want to? Everything holds a valuable lesson, no matter how painful it is, but we can't keep living in these cycles of regret, remorse, guilt, and shame. And there is a life partner here. And so committed life partnerships is in focus. Where have you not felt worthy of a committed life partnership? Where have you been afraid to commit to somebody else at that deep soul level? There's a deep past life connection here for sure. Let's jump in with some tarot, guys, and see what else needs to come through. Beautiful new emotional experience, but it might require taking action. So we got a King of Cups and we got an Ace of Cups. Sorry, King of Wands. There's a masculine in focus here. I feel getting ready to take a leadership role. I'm feeling strong Aries energy because of the Chiron in Aries. It doesn't have to be, though. Leo, we're heading into Leo season, and that is so interesting. It looks like a scorpion on the nightstand, so you could be dealing with a Scorpio, but it's about publicly speaking up, communication, and somebody here is afraid of criticism for sure when it comes to a beautiful emotional experience. And so a lifetime partnership, dolphins do mate for life. And maybe an apology is needed for some children here. It looks like a child, right? So somebody is going through an awakening when it comes to their true heart's desire and what it is they need to take action towards. And if that's not a visionary leader, I don't know what is. You know, I always feel Emperor energy with that King of Fire. And so we've got a masculine here, healing, learning structure and discipline, definitely getting ready to take charge of a situation and accept a leadership role for sure. Interesting Aries energy. See, I called it an Aries come out. So we got a masculine going through some type of illumination when it comes to some past betrayal, the ending of a situation, taking charge to walk away from a very melodramatic situation, and maybe speaking up to get a weight off their shoulders because that sort of truth is illuminated. And him holding the world, we're closing out a big karmic cycle here. So let's get a 9-card spread and see what needs to come through. No, we're not doing a 9-card spread today. All right. We got 7 of Cups, Nine of Wands, we got justice. So there's definitely been an injustice and something will be made right. And there's that Chiron wound. So disillusionment, loneliness due to disillusionment. There's been a lack of being prepared to go into this wounding. Somebody's needing to ask for help. And somebody is definitely facing some very harsh karmic judgment from not coming from a place of integrity in the past. And not standing up for what they should have stood up for. And they are definitely going through an awakening. A shift in consciousness. Pisces energy. Libra energy. We got the Seven of Cups and the Nine of Wands. So there's that core wound coming up to be looked at. And I know yesterday, thank God I was repotting plants and grounding some energy. Because when the moon shifted into Aries, it was all this seething underlying rage for all of the injustices I've gone through. And just looking around at the world, all of the injustices of the world. And so somebody is awakening to seeing things in a whole new light when it comes to an injustice. Something that needs to be fixed, rebalanced, addressed. Pisces energy. I feel somebody's losing a lot of money in the energies as well. Facing all kinds of conflict and challenges. We got the Chariot. And the Five of Wands is the underlying energy. So Cancer. Moving on. Walking away from some drama. Moving in a new direction very quickly. All done with this drama. This melodramatic situation. And it really was just a reflection of your own distorted ego. And so the overall outcome is the Five of Pentacles with the Empress. Somebody abandoned this Empress in the past, or maybe this Empress is about to abandon somebody and leave them out in the cold. But there's been some hidden motivations. There's definitely fear when it comes to rebalancing a situation with an Empress, the Nine of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles. And so this really is a time of meditation, going within and solitude, to shine your light on all of these wounds, all of these negative vices. To seek to become a spiritual mentor of self-discovery first, before bringing that into the light. And so we are closing out some big karmic cycles here, guys. Learning some very painful lessons, but we will reach a level of spiritual enlightenment and accomplishment on the other side. And we will have that freedom to do whatever it is we want, but we got to be proud of ourselves, and we got to do the work, and we got to understand all of this had to happen in order for this expansion, for things to move forward. And so things are moving forward. There is a fresh start around the corner, and the end of delays are coming. But I think get ready for an unexpected shakeup, a sudden unexpected shakeup, to get you to embrace some positive change, even if it doesn't feel good at the beginning. Okay, so going into the core wound, needing to make a decision. So somebody is coming into some truth and some clarity on what it is that they need to do in order to move forward. And there is a need to release some addictions, because that has kept somebody very much in balance. Cats, please don't fight. And awakening to see things in a whole new light. So peeling back the layers, and whatever somebody is leaving behind, it's been nothing but drama, chaos, conflict, struggle, challenges, fears, fears surrounding money. Is it really worth your time to keep playing into all of these opposing opinions? And I'm being shown like the Cancer Capricorn polarity. And so somebody's got all kinds of things coming at them very quickly. And this is going to allow them to find their determination and their willpower to go in a new direction, and maybe bring forward public recognition to this Empress, who I feel was abandoned and left out in the cold. And somebody is getting ready to reach out to this Empress, because the time is now for action, for a new creative endeavor that will bring a lot of success and abundance and prosperity. But somebody's working through some fear when it comes to paying back some karmic debt. Definitely in the past, things were not balanced at all. I feel an Empress about to come into an unexpected influx of abundance, a reward, a blessing of some sort for transforming her life and coming out the other side. Somebody here has got some very mystical, magical energy around them, a feminine, just glowing, spreading her wings is what I'm feeling. And this is going to bring an unexpected, fortunate event, and somebody is going to be having to pay back some karmic debt for not valuing this Empress. And so, or just not valuing the divine feminine in general. Throughout the years, the feminine has been ostracized and put down. And so I feel somebody has been secretly planning to come towards this Empress, and they've been working through their fear when it comes to bring forward an offer. Could be a Pisces, Cancer energy. There is a very single energy here, a very happy single energy here that is living a very good life, but she's had to work hard to get here. And it's kind of time to plant those seeds, and when it comes to those investments for the future, and that patience energy. It's like I've waited a long time for this rebalancing. And so I feel there was definitely an injustice, and there is going to be a conflicting, opposing event today in order to force somebody to walk away from some drama. So let's take a look at this injustice. Let's take a look at the justice reversed. Strength, Queen of Wands, Two of Wands. So somebody's at a crossroads in a relationship, I feel, with somebody trying to stronghold them. A very controlling energy, trying to manipulate a situation, and there's a masculine at a crossroads when it comes to being honest. So yeah, there's a masculine that really made an unwise choice. They did not choose their true match. They went towards a karmic feminine energy, and it's been nothing but a battle of the wits, is what I'm feeling. All kinds of questionable motives, lacking of integrity, manipulation, control, possessiveness, jealous energy, a very jealous, possessive feminine that is trying to prevent somebody from going towards making their dreams come true. And so there's a masculine that needs to communicate this, like, hey, I made a crappy choice. I took a gamble and I went in the wrong direction, and I thought this was, you know, my passion. Maybe it was lust. Maybe it was sex. I think sex without love. There's no love here. And playing into ego, for sure. The strength can be ego, but I also feel somebody's trying to find their strength to speak some truth and to take the next steps they need to take when it comes to partnering with somebody that they do share dreams with. Finding their strength to say, hey, I got to move on from this very toxic, unhealthy situation where neither of us have integrity. Two people manipulating one another, control. And I feel this King of Swords is very much in his ego, cold, detached, borderline narcissistic, and went towards a very extremely codependent situation. And there's no balance in career. There's no balance in personal life. And somebody just wasn't using their intellect in the past, and I feel they've got no respect in their life. And so I feel somebody needs to communicate clearly. They're in a very unemotional relationship. They're unemotionally available. They're very dissatisfied, and it's kind of time to pull the plug. As much as it hurts, healing always happens with time. And so somebody needs to let this go. This is a past life connection that was put on your path for personal growth from facing all of these challenges. So I think the time has come to heal this pain, to heal this misunderstanding, to heal this third-party drama once and for all. Somebody's at the crossroads when it comes to planting those new seeds. I feel a masculine getting ready to find his dedication, to go towards this Empress as this loyal, committed protector. And they've been very apprehensive because they've been dealing with a control freak. And I feel they've been waiting for the perfect timing. And somebody's guardian angel is saying the time is now to take action. The time is now to stand up for what it is that you believe in. Let's take a look at this awakening. What are they seeing in a whole new light? Love. Looking at love in a whole new light. I think somebody thought love was a trap. That a relationship was nothing but a trap. And I feel learning a lesson in confidence, self-confidence, inadequacy issues. Somebody's felt helpless in an old mindset, an old cycle, an old belief that has made them afraid to take action, to take responsibility. And they've been stuck in this mental prison, going back over the past, definitely romanticizing about how things used to be with this person, this Empress. and embracing this deep inner child healing. It's like a review of all of the romantic past relationships, and, you know, the ghosts of exes past coming back to haunt somebody in order to break them free from this illusion of being entrapped in this very toxic karmic situation. All they got to do is take the blinders off and walk through this gateway of this new experience. So definitely a heart chakra awakening, an awakening of some psychic abilities even, or some spiritual insights through the heart, and wanting to deepen a relationship with somebody that I feel was left out. Coming in rather quickly to say, hey, I want to work on this. You are what I love. You are what I want to bring recognition forward for, and I want to work with you. I want to restore my reputation, and I'm decisive now. I'm going to defend this to the very end, and I think coming in with great speed, facing these challenges, and coming in with a very emotional offer. Get ready for an unexpected arrival, and somebody is coming in with something solid. They're coming in accomplished, grounded. They want financial security. They want emotional security and prosperity. And I feel they're coming in as a solid support. They want their wishes coming true. Somebody can see clearly now. So let's take a look at this conflict. What kind of conflict are we breaking away from here? 10 of Cups, 8 of Pentacles, 6 of Wands. Just walking right towards my happily ever after. This is kind of what I feel. I'm done with this. I'm done with this drama, and I'm going right for victory and success, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to build that happily ever after that I know that I deserve. And so going towards a new emotional experience, a loving relationship, even with your children. Remember, children came through at the beginning of the reading, and so raising children wisely. We are here to raise these future generations wisely from the heart space. And so coming in for that victory. And learning all they can about this Empress, and they're ready to put in the work. I will do whatever it takes to put in the work to have this solid foundation. And so going towards a committed partnership, listening to that higher guidance, Taurus energy. When it comes to unity, spiritually minded communities, and I feel somebody is trusting in the divine's messages that have been bringing them to this place in their life of what it is they need to walk away from. So there is a need to move on from a very toxic karmic situation. There is a need to understand that there is more to life than this karmic experience. And somebody is definitely on a spiritual quest towards their wish fulfillment, choosing to make these big life changes. So whether you're choosing to make them or you're forced to make them, get ready for a change in priorities is what I'm feeling. So let's get a couple last messages from Spirit. I cannot believe we are at 50-something minutes already. So get ready to purify your space. Get ready to break away from toxic people, situations, jobs, anything that isn't serving your purpose. And get ready to learn a lesson as part of your soul's evolution. We are working through all of this difficult past life karma right now. And in order to work through it, we do have to acknowledge it if we truly want to heal from it. And so somebody is becoming acutely aware of the people and the circumstances that have been put on their path as a test of their will, of their strength, of their fortitude. And I feel somebody here is struggling with all of these external influencing forces in order to get them to finally pay attention, to figure out what is going to fulfill them, what is going to bring happiness. And nobody ever needs to give you permission to go after what it is that your heart truly tells you that you deserve. So how do you see yourself? How do you see yourself when you look in the mirror? Because self-awareness is what is needed in order to gain that new perspective. And so the universe has been communicating with somebody through signs and synchronicities. So you're going to want to pay attention to what you're thinking when they appear, because this is how we get to know ourselves too. And this is how we get to know our intuition and our guides and how they communicate with us. And so if you've been depleted and dissatisfied, get ready to face that over the coming months, and get ready to face some obstacles and challenges, and you will get through this. So in order to bring positivity in your life, you have to raise that frequency first and foremost. So we've all gone through some very tough situations, some very tough, painful endings, but it is through the hardships that we find our strength and our determination to recover. And when we recover, then we can be that healing hand for others. We can offer that help and healing to somebody else in need. So get ready to process some deep-seated emotions. Get ready to process some deep-seated emotions, because that's the only way to heal it. We got to feel it. So, yes, we're all going through some very difficult energies. Not going to sugarcoat it. But this is where we learn to connect with our divine team. We learn how to protect ourselves, follow this guidance, and we know that we are never, ever, ever truly alone. So everything happens for a reason, guys, and we never, ever really know why at the time. But I think get ready to understand all of these challenges once and for all, and to turn it into your wisdom and your strength. And that's what I got, guys. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a twin soul reading with me, I do encourage you to check out that description box below. I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.